right. Well, if you guys are ready, we'll go ahead and get started with the meeting. I was just speaking with Father Mike. I don't know what happened to him, but hopefully he'll show up here in a few minutes. So we'll just go ahead and get going since you guys have lives and things that you need to do. Welcome. I mean, this is awesome to see you guys here. It's the third Oblates meeting. It's nice to see more than just me and Father Mike. Nothing against him, but I see him all the time. So again, welcome everyone. Just wanted to remind everybody that we are recording this show for audio purposes only. So the video will not be uploaded to the YouTube channel. It's just going to be the audio. So those who aren't able to attend will be able to check out the audio and join in through chat or comments or however they want to. My wife Haven had to work, so she won't be able to attend. Elaine and Bob, who are also members, do not have Zoom capabilities, but they did have some information for me to share here in a little bit. So our business for this month, no new members this month. I had 2 prospects, but they backed out once they found out there was a commitment. I mean, are we that difficult with our commitments? I mean, but anyway, they were all enthused about the group and getting a nice shiny certificate and all that until they found out that they had to pray a little a day and study a little a day and contemplate a little bit a day. But I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I don't get it. So anyway, please invite people to our Facebook group, promote and share the website. Let's not, this isn't a private club or a secret club. We want to share it with people, but, I don't know. When I created it, I thought, watering it down the way we have would be, appealing to a lot of people because it's not demanding. Yes, there are commitments, but, we have to have accountability because if you don't, then you tend to not do things, So I guess that's the problem is a problem with keeping themselves accountable. I don't know. Please feel free to post on the Facebook group, on the page. It belongs to all of us. So don't be shy. Share what you guys want to share. It'd be great just to see, other people posting on there. Website, I've done some small tweaks to it. It's an ongoing work in progress and always will be. If there's anything you guys would like on the website that's not on there or, some changes or additions, let me know. I am not very computer tech savvy, especially with websites, but we'll see what we can make happen. I'm going to create another page in the upcoming weeks for the website to post the meeting, just saying, hey, this is the meeting page. This is what we did, what we talked about, links to the YouTube channel and so on. So that's it for business. So we'll open the floor for discussion. If anybody wants to share how they're doing, their daily prayers, studies, practices, contemplation, what's working, what's not working, anything that you're studying that's interesting that you would like to share.
Well, I'm curious. I saw your post about the Kabbalah and was curious if you enjoyed that. That's something I've just read books about, but I've never actually taken courses.
Yeah, I took a course through the Center of Excellence. It's out of the UK. And, they advertise their courses for like stupid amounts of money, like $200 something or whatever a course. But then if you put in the code birthday 11, you get it for $32. So it's, it's an online course and I highly recommend their Kabbalah course. It was really good. It was a very good primer to get me into studying more on Kabbalah. I've just got a copy of the Tanya, which is
Okay.
a part of the Kabbalah, and I've got a commentary on the commentary of the Zohar.
Okay. Nice.
It's not showing up. But, because who can afford 12 volumes of the Zohar? It's like 300 bucks. But yeah, I've been doing that and, studying all kinds of videos, and it's amazing. It really is, and I noticed you're on a couple of Kabbalah groups, Ashley. But yeah, I highly recommend it. I mean, you'll look when you're doing your Bible study or just anything biblical, you're going to see it so differently at such a deeper level. It's really, again, I can't recommend it enough.
Yeah, because once you look at the Hebrew, you see there's several different definitions for a word, and you're right. I mean, definitely opens your eyes. Yeah,
you see so much of mistranslation over the centuries. A lot of it was intentional, a lot of it was unintentional, but it's a completely different book when you look at it through the eyes of a Kabbalist. It's just, again, I can't recommend it enough. It's great stuff.
Nice.
The course I'm taking is survey of Old Testament, and we went over the creation story and covered Noah quite a bit. But when we got to the patriarchs, in previous times, I was covering either Jacob or Joseph a lot. This was the first time, and it was refreshing to cover Abraham.
Yeah.
Very, very extensive Abraham. And then we went into Exodus. And we covered the 10 plagues, which each plague was specific towards a specific Egyptian deity.
Mm-hmm.
And we were to find which of those deities were. And we took an angle to scientifically, well, there's a scientific explanation. What the scientific explanation can't explain is that the timing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the timing's way off. It's not meant to be a historical book,
Yeah, so how was it that it was turned on and turned off at a specific time in a specific way?
Yeah, a book you should check out, Abel, is called Christianity and Ancient Egyptian Religion. Father Mike had me study it for my seminary course, and I went through it cover to cover, had to write essays on it, and also did video intros for his seminary class whenever he gets to putting that out there. But yeah, I mean, it really, now you have to remember that the person that wrote the book is Muslim. So it's coming from a Muslim perspective, but historically he's pointing out how the timelines don't match and how figures in the Old Testament can be equated to different pharaohs and leaders of Egypt at that time. So it's one of those that you need to guard yourself when you're reading it. Just take it as it's someone else's opinion, as Father Mike had to help me, because it was a bit of a rabbit hole, because I was like, wow, according to this guy, the entire Old Testament is just, taking Egyptian stuff and spinning it into something else. These people didn't exist. But again, you just have to keep in mind it's just one person's view, and take it for that and put it in your toolbox, because it's good information to have, especially with the history, because that's the thing a lot of people don't realize, is that the Bible was not meant to be a history book. It's such it's all analogies and metaphors. It's a guidebook for how we're supposed to live our lives, but people take it for literally word for word. This is this and that's that, and this has got to be this way, and it gets messy.
And then when you get Archbishop Usher trying to count back and the 5,700 years or whatever it is till creation, and been people trying to defend that against scientific proof, and it's just ugly.
Yeah. And then you get in, when you got people with their beliefs, you're going to have issues because instead of looking at things intellectually and looking at it spiritually, contemplating things and looking at it from a different view, they want it in their box. It's got to fit in my box. And there's one thing I always say all the time is no two people have the same beliefs. It's literally impossible. So, why can't we look at the similarities instead of focusing on the differences? But that's just a human thing, I guess.
We get into arguments over the differences, and it's one of the things that I ran into from church to church. They have their own doctrines and their own beliefs. Just go with it and don't. You can have a discussion and discuss things, which is what I do in the Bible talk. Some of them are pretty lively discussions, so some of them are pretty good. And I get to when they were covering Corinthians about the background of Corinth, they had all these different things going on. I can see where certain beliefs came from, and I could see I've seen one of the videos from Bible Project. They had idols, and they had drawn the idols in the animation. Some of them look like trees, and I went, could this be where they got the Christmas tree is a bad thing? Just one of those things I pondered about, and I have a relative who,
when you look at it, it's interesting to see how many things were taken from the pagans and incorporated, and then told these dirty, evil, sinning pagans, but we're going to take this and we're going to take that and we're going to do this and we're going to do that, and debate.
That book.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, have you ever read the book "The Two Babylons" by
No.
Alexander Hislop? Okay, don't. It is there's nothing really historically factual in it. It was this Protestant minister just tearing up the Roman Catholic Church and talking about Mary, the veneration for Mary was the worship of Ishtar and everything. But my favorite part was when he was talking about a bishop's mitre. He compared it to the headdress of the priest of Dagon in Philistia. So we're talking about how it was a fish head that they were wearing.
Yeah.
And every time I see a mitre now, I get a little, imagining a fish head. I don't believe that's where it came from, but
he ruined it for you.
It did. He did.
There's a book similar to that. It's called Too Long in the Sun. And I read it and I went, it's a book. But I had a relative read it and turned into a completely different person. Left mainstream church and never came back. And I went, okay. And became following the Bible literally. And I went, I'm glad to. I'm glad I didn't take the seriously. And being guided through this Old Testament survey, I was told, I said, now don't let your mind become blown by what you find.
Mm.
And by all means, we're here for you. That, you know, if you feel perturbed in any way, contact us and we'll talk you through, we'll walk you through any difficult, any difficulties you may
That's
encounter.
great. Yeah, that's important. Definitely.
And it's one of the things that I was getting at. You can't just call yourself ordained and everything when you're not. And that's, you can run into something and be led down the wrong way and lead others astray while you're being misled. And
Yeah, definitely.
as I said, you can get to be in a lot of trouble.
Well, what are you guys studying right now? Anything interesting?
I read The Widower's Journey.
Yeah, you posted that in the group. That's yeah.
It's the first chapter. His wife had just died. It was 9 o'clock at night. The nurse came up to him and said, "You have 3 hours to move the body." Why? Because her insurance will stop paying at midnight.
Mm.
What? Really? And there's uh, finances. Um, okay. Um, there's a lot of resources for widows, but for widowers, there was at the time there was basically nothing. And men are raised and programmed to tough it out, to pull yourself by your bootstraps and tough it out.
Yeah.
And a lot of men just couldn't help but fall apart.
Mm.
And some would take their life over it. There was an account where a man literally laid down on the couch and simply died. He didn't see life without his wife.
Yep. Dying of a broken heart. It happens quite a bit.
Men are programmed and prepared. I had a married man tell me if he was to lose his wife, he would lose his sense of identity, his
Mm.
sense of purpose. He would lose who he is and would not know what to do from that point. And his book gives an idea and it lists other books, one of which I find is a bit better. It's 12 chapters. This other book, I have yet to get it. Once I get it, I'll read it and see. But there's finances and there's vulnerability. The widower is vulnerable to any predatory person who's going to take advantage and establish a relationship and um, any financial anything financial is there are horror stories of widowers. Uh, they meet someone, she charms them off his feet, next thing you know, he doesn't have a house or a car or any finances or anything anymore. It's all in her name.
Mm.
And she runs off into the night with everything. And it doesn't, it tells of stories. It doesn't specify to whom or stuff of occupations, uh, widowed, uh, and we had an epilogue with a number of them. Did they find and someone else, and it covers going into dating and like children, and finances, having trust on children, having prenuptial agreements. So that if anything happens, if they get married and then all of a sudden get divorced, how are they gonna work that out? I barely finished reading it, and there's a number of Santa books that I've been reading, those who take being a Santa seriously see it as a ministry. We see it as alleviating the holiday blues, or the holiday jitters, and getting people to calm down and just be at ease, comfort, and give hope to the people that they. And some of these men, some of these Santas, they are 24/7, 365, fully bearded. Some of them in shirts or whatever, and we see it as a ministry in serving others. There's a few that they said we are just in it for the money, but they really don't like it. They get found out. One of them, there's a number of very prominent Santas. Who, one of them in particular, he's on Facebook, and his deal is self-development. You develop yourself, you improve yourself, you obtain skills and develop skills that you already have, and improve and make the experience, the encounters that you have a lot better, a lot smoother. And it's not to really make money. It's to develop. It's developmental. It's improving how you do your ministry as a Santa. And I'm like, I really don't see myself with I see myself with the young at heart, the elders. I feel strongly drawn to helping the elderly, helping the senior citizens.
Yeah, because they're often the ones that need the help the most.
In churches today, we concentrate on the youth. Okay, that's fine. But the elder, those who are alone, those with their days is a real life Groundhog Day. It's the same thing every day.
Oh, yeah.
And it doesn't change. And a welcome change would be to have someone visit and spend time. Somebody who's just a bit younger, and took care enough and to come in and do a visit. Yeah. And that's one of the things that I do whenever I can. I'm visiting with a widower. He lost his wife due to some sort of interaction that was fatal. And he was a Santa, and he was supposed to begin his season during that time, which he did. He got through it. But to come home Thanksgiving, especially Christmas, and he's by himself, and you in a home, it's like everything there, his wife had picked out. And it's so crushing. Huge crushing weight, and it's like so necessary. Attending a grief group, and I reached out to him and he listed a couple of networks, and I wrote to him, copied down the name of the networks and where to go, and I hope that he got connected from becoming a very thin man to contacted his church, and I said, please do something to help them. And the church lady thankfully came in and helped clear some of his late wife's things and did a few things for him, provided a few meals, and kept them upbeat, kept them going.
That's awesome. I mean, well, guys, it's almost time. We got like a minute and 20 seconds. Ashley, did you want to add anything before we close out?
briefly, I just started a book, and I can't even remember the name of it right now, but it's Father Jamie Matthias's most recent book.
Okay.
He's had a Holy Family Church in Austin. It's
Yeah, I'm a
pretty much the
follower.
record of it's the record of their convocation they had last fall, and just with him and all the speakers there talking about what
Yeah, I've
works,
got that
what
one.
doesn't
Yeah.
work. Okay, good. Well, I'm one chapter in, so don't spoil it for me.
Oh, I haven't started it yet. I've got it. I just
Okay.
not to it yet.
Okay, good. No, that's, I really don't have anything new to report. I'm just glad to finally make one of the meetings.
It's great to have you guys here. Thank you all so much for coming in. Our next meeting will be on Sunday, April the 23rd. Did this time work good for you guys?
Yes, works
Okay.
great for me.
Okay, good. So we'll go ahead and keep it this time then, and do the same thing again on the 23rd of April. So
Wonderful.
thank you all so much, and blessings to each and every one of you. Take care,
And a blessed Easter to y'all.
thank you. You as well, and to your family as well.